Grace and blessings, family. Sister Ajali. It's been a bit of time, ain't an extraordinary amount of time, but I've been writing and successfully completed my 100 pages. I'm going to expose Dr. She right here. And it's been a while since I've talked, so I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to do that. But I realized that feminism truly cannot stand families. It is a strategy devised uh, by Satanists themselves. And, I could show the data going all the way back, but our attention span is short and I got to make this quick. This is a poster from old Soviet Russia, 1932, says right down at the bottom. Soviet poster which reads, 8th of March is the day of the rebellion of the working women against the kitchen slavery. Say no to the oppression and babbitry of the household work. But they've got this babushka, the woman with the scarf on her head, as opposed to the woman who's the babushka with the red scarf, meaning, blood and gore and all the rest of that sort of stuff. There was so many people that Stalin killed that are far more than anything else that happened reportedly anywhere else, and I can say no more. But this is comical to me, where household work being done by this woman is such a burden, it's crushing her, which it could be true. I think that the process of different cultures getting to know aspects has led to both the ability of the devil to take advantage of the imperfection that is just standard with creation. Creation is not something that would have, I'm sure if Allah wanted to make everything absolutely perfect, he would. But then we wouldn't be free. We'd be cows. Where we're not capable of just having individual reflections and regrets and triumphs and ambitions. That is what makes life absolutely astounding. But in the middle of that, the devil has taken advantage of the fact that Western civilization has treated their women overall like furniture, so that they have no value in their society, and thereby they could put out a poster, as ridiculous as this is, with a woman's being crushed by household duties. As a woman, I am gonna be tidy and clean no matter where the heck I live. If I live in a shack, I'm gonna try to make it the cleanest shack possible. So to minimize, to diminish the value of what a woman is to her family is to thereby destroy the family. And because as women, let me go right on over. Daily Mail I use as a wonderful just confession on the devil's part as to what his agenda is. Because if I leave a comment, sometimes it will be uploaded, but only if I comment on the most innocuous headlines. If I make a comment on any serious topic whatsoever that they're trying to brainwash their readers into believing, then the comment, it's just hidden forever. And so on this article right here, from cooking dinner to doing the housework, the shocking diary entries by two couples that reveal how doing the chores pushes their relationships to the brink. Now, the reason why I'm even highlighting this in the first place is because Dr. She did this right here, which I love this. I love this, where he was trying to explain the difference between a gold digger type of chick and a woman who wants to be part of a union that brings the most solid building harmony to both parties' lives, the husband and the wife. And so this woman here was complaining that some man sent her, cash tapped her $30 for lunch. She took the $30. She took it. But then she made a video that went viral where she was complaining about what kind of woman you think I am that I could, spend $30 for lunch. I'm going to have, everything about the mentality of this philosophy is broken. It's broken. It's this mindset where you're sure that just having a family that's the woman is the first glimpse of God. What an incredible power. That is your omnipotence in life, that you get to structure morality with your children and to inspire morality in your husband, and so that he's just honored, overjoyed to know he's coming home to a house that celebrates him as a righteous man. That's as close to perfection as you're going to get. And so Daily Mail right here is doing the same exact thing that Russian poster was doing. And the comment I left, and I'll go check to see if it got posted, but I know it didn't. But it answers it. It says, this is how feminism has lured women into relationship destroying pessimism. We're going to clean the house anyway, even if we're single. So just as women are more decoratively inclined than men, same with cleaning, as we're going to notice the dirt and grime more. This is just something that's just naturally happening in household after household after two people who love each other get together. But because the feminism has infested our minds so much, and this is historically accurate, where the improvement in the dynamic of relationships has made men say, well, let's treat women better. Well, let's give them, this is in white societies because they've been so, the original gender warring was happening with them. And so their societies have had to evolve where they recognize, oh, you mean the woman is actually a person? But in our societies, we already knew that. And what women did was honored, not trivialized. And so that's why they could easily make it seem as if maintaining a home is some sort of passive, useless type of advocacy. Feminism can't stand housewives. What's wrong with that? When I call myself a housewife, I don't mean it as an insult. When I say that people don't hear me well, I mean that as they're not evolved enough yet to know the power and the might of a traditional household, so that I can write novels, I can write a textbook, I can make soap and provide all of that for you. There is nothing I've done that has alerted us about the hell of man-made radiation that would have been possible without Dr. She being the leader over our family and wanting a wife who can see. Let me finish reading what I said, because I'm saying it better here. Well, I do housework in a home with my very best friend, my husband. I've chosen a man who takes my breath away, and I'm the one who keeps our home a gorgeous space. We're not the same, and that's great. That's where feminism has also destroyed us, because that's why you got all these men coming in to women athletic spots and winning one after the other because of the lunacy that men and women are exactly the same. No, we're not. Hallelujah. And in that is going to be imperfection. But we can get it better, not by becoming tyrants ourselves, but by recognizing I'm going to be better at cleaning mostly. Sometimes men can be better at cleaning. In those situations, you'll see husbands who help. My king, he helps with so much. It's a wonderful thing. I appreciate him doing that. But sometimes when it comes to other things, I'm like, okay, if it's going to happen, I'm going to have to do it. Ta-da! That's a beautiful thing, because there's all sorts of stuff he does that I ain't about to do it. I ain't about to figure out all the different parts on the car. I can figure out parts on different things if that's where my passion leads me. But men kind of have a passion for cars and going because they have careers and professions that they just really want to protect. I'm not saying that women should, oh my goodness, yes. I just handed a whole litany of things that I do that I couldn't do if I had to worry about paying the rent, paying the mortgage, putting the food on the table. And so, finishing what I'm saying here, all right? We're not the same, and that's great. I'd live in a gorgeous space with or without him, but it's heaven with him, and he's in heaven to have a wife who can see the big picture. Let's check. Here we are. Updated is all the right time, the right day, not the right news, but let me go to my profile right here. Ignore the hype, okay? And there we go. The last comment, view all. This is it. View newest 10. That's it. They would never, ever. I put something like this out here. Even I tried to leave an innocuous comment on this one with about Dylan Mulvaney, and oh God, it's so disgusting. And he was hanging out with a woman who's just as disgusting as he is, Lady Gaga, whatever the heck she calls herself. She's a Satanist, but in my firm conclusion, that's what she is. And so I said, and may this be the last we see of either person's careers. I don't know how correct you can get more than that, right? They have started allowing other comments, but this one right here, that ain't there either. I showed you. This isn't on there at all. This is a wonderful way to get devil confessions of what they plan on doing. They are not going to leave any of this mess alone, that men and women are exactly the same, and thereby this thing can come on in and just destroy us. Even they've had articles where they're saying there's a backlash going on about it, but they don't want black us, pro-black us especially, because we'll notice what they're trying to do to us specifically. They don't want black us to be anything but part of the wokery. And so they can go, oh yeah, look at this black woman stealing all this stuff, and she's an elected official, and look at this one at Harvard who's doing this and doing that. No, they don't want any of us and any of them to understand who we are as a people. So is it any wonder that here's another poster, and this is from 2009. This is supposed to be Women's Day? And this is such a satanic beast, completely unfeminine. And this is about violence, this whole poster right here. I do not support violence. No, I don't. All right? And it's like, if only I had a hammer. Where, what are you going to do with that hammer with such a vicious looking creature as this? But almost that's all you see nowadays. This is what feminism has done. Turn them, as Dr. She said, into the work. Into the work. Who would dare approach this woman? Nobody in their right mind. Right? I know what Zero Hedge is about, the same type of thing, but I got a screenshot of this comment because it was an article about that dude who was a corpse thief, and they were calling him some other type of thing, but white dude with the tattoos. You know how they do his tattoos all over his face, and then they black up the eye, and they just will get these little piercings on top of their skulls that make them look like and they just look like demons. Well, this one right here, this was just true as hell, right? A lot of people like to complain about every other race, but these kind of guys, the sadistic, monstrous sickos, are almost always white. That's just a fact. But they have an agenda that they want to push with the immigrants coming up. Ain't nothing ever been so ridiculous. Ain't nothing going on in the unentitled snakes of America that people would want to come up here unless their hands were being greased. And I've shown the data on that too. The UN, all them big dudes, they want chaos. And that is all that they can do to hide what they've done with Fukushima fallout, with all the nuclear fallout from every single facility on this earth. Right? That's all I got to say on that. I'll be back with more. It's just what it is. I'm so into writing my novel that I don't want to almost do any shares, but I gotta keep warning us because everybody's so vulnerable. As I sit here in my house and there's, like my king is dropping dishes in the sink, I have to remind myself that this is our communal space. Of course, when you are ready to be just like it's the end of the day, I don't feel like it. Sometimes he washes his own dishes, sometimes he doesn't. That is my joy. When I think deeper than what's superficially on my mind, to be in a home with such a man every day. That reminds me. This hunt for us, because they have not succeeded, because we're not like them, and we're not like their myths about us. They truly want to believe that we're idiots, and that, they would hate being black. Hallelujah. But they think that we hate being black too, and we don't. We don't. They think that we're supposed to go along with their gender warring thing. And a lot of us have been fooled. But most of us, we don't fall for the lie of it. More and more of us are waking up every day. I know all these friggin' interracialists who are waking up in a household filled with pale people. I know they know what the hell I'm talking about, even if they would never admit it, because it would be too painful for them to admit that they've made a terrible mistake and they've erased themselves from existence. Right? And so before they punched up the propaganda that is every single movie you see, if it's got black people in it, we're all either homosexual, trans, everything, or we're with a white person. You see old shows, and you'll run into the black love that they never portray on camera. This woman right here, I can only find so many clips because it was badly edited together. But this was a really obscure show, New York Med. And she was she called her husband her very best friend. And he had a small, benign tumor on his neck, so that they were capable of going in and removing the tumor. And she was just, it's such a beautiful interaction between the two of them. I put it in my Black Love playlist because I was like, wow. And there's another one that I have to find, also a medical. I've been watching a whole bunch of medical stuff, where another couple were just, black couple were on edge because their son was drastically in danger. He had been hit by a bus. It was just a beautiful, beautiful interaction. But the thing is that in watching these shows, one of the things I've learned is that when people are in a critical condition, the ones who have family, who are there for them through the tragedy, are the ones most likely to survive. The ones who are all by themselves. What's the difference between her grueling, mean, hard-looking face and this right here? Just because you may not even call you, I'm not a feminist, but you could be brainwashed into thinking that a man is just an extension of your bank account when it's the relationship, it's the connection, it's the family. That's your wealth. And anybody who would dare to go to a woman with that much cruelty in her the first moment you look at her, they would be insane. So in this hunt for Black us, keep your wits about you, submit to the Most High, read those good books, which I understand right now in Canada, they are about trying to outlaw quotes from the Bible. Ain't that something? And just know, the one and only, he is the only rescue coming, and you're going to have to be in submission to the rules of his house. That is the way of creation. I love you. Straight Black pride is our map to creating our beautiful families forever and ever. Peace and blessings.